on my fine command of the English language, I said nothing. Robert Benchley. I have made this letter longer because I have not had the time to make it shorter. Writers will understand that. Blaise Pascal. Don't use words too big for the subject. Don't say infinitely when you mean very. Otherwise, you'll have no word left when you want to talk about something really infinite. C.S. Lewis. Better to write for yourself and have no public than to write for the public and have no self. Cyril Conway. The cure for writer's cramp is writer's block. Inigo de Leon. Even if you do learn how to speak correct English, whom are you going to speak it to? Clarence Darrow. The English language was carefully cobbled together by 3 blind dudes and a German dictionary, said Dave Kellett. I don't know who he is. When I split an infinitive, goddammit, I split it so it stays split. Raymond Chandler. You've probably heard this one. Man 1, where are you from? Man 2, from a place where we do not end sentences with prepositions. Man 1, okay, where are you from, jackass? Author unknown. This is my favorite post. It's called The Alien in Your Future. So I'm just going to read some of it because I wouldn't want to give it all away. I now believe that aliens exist, and I believe that these shriveled-looking, green-gray, big-eyed, long-fingered creatures are a more advanced life form than we are. So how do I know this? Read on. I've been in the education field for 10 years. Many of my colleagues have been there much longer than I have. And they have seen more changes than I. Generally, they say the pendulum seems to swing back and forth with this year's new idea, something that they saw 15 or 20 years ago. Progress is a given. Well, I guess it is usually progress. Let's say that change is a given. We see our world speeding toward ever more technology. We have smartphones, smart TVs, computers that recognize our fingerprints and our voices, and technology that does everything for us, and therefore must be smarter than we are. There have been many changes in education lately, many. Now, I went to school quite a while ago, and while I live and teach in California, I was educated in Massachusetts. I feel that I got a good education. I think we might call the educations we got back then classical educations, which was a good thing back then. We knew things, facts, formulae. We could recite the Gettysburg Address and maybe a poem or two. We read classics. We were graded on our handwriting and our spelling and our grammar. And we knew about the explorers and parts of the United States government. Enough reminiscing. Let's talk about what is happening now. Please note that I am not commenting on whether or not I like what is happening. I think that some of the changes are good. So anyhow, then I go on to say, cursive is out. It's not quite out, but let's say cursive is sort of out. Memorization is sort of out. Grammar is sort of out. Although I just read something about the Common Core emphasizing grammar, which it does, having looked at the standards. However, we all know that Common Core could be gone depending on how the election turns out. STEM, the acronym for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math, in which there is no A for art and the E does not stand for English. The SAT is being changed so that the writing part is optional and probably computer graded. Yes. What? Yes, optional. Wow. Yeah. Then I had read that it didn't matter because the ACT, another college entrance exam, was becoming more popular than the SAT, which struck me as odd because I had just read the ACT was being discontinued. So I don't know what the story is. My kids are all done with that. What does this have to do with aliens? I thought you would never ask. Look at a picture of an alien, and I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I will read the first one. Look at a picture of an alien. Gigantic eyes, right? Big eyes. We will be needing those eyes to stare at the computer screen all day long, doing our 21st century jobs, which will consist of developing newer and better technology to do everything else for us, giving us time to continue creating new technology. Those big eyes will not get eye strain from staring at the screen